Hello and welcome back to the stream, 0x. Thank you for coming on again. How has
My
your week
pleasure.
been?
Pretty chill. Looking at some charts.
So we had a really big week last week because the ETF started trading and there were a lot of gBTC outflows. So, well, for people that don't know what the gBTC outflows are, it's basically Grayscale that launched their ETF, and all the people that bought gBTC, so the Grayscale Bitcoin product before, can now redeem them and sell them basically on the open market. And every time a person sells their gBTC, Grayscale has to send their Bitcoin that covers the gBTC to Coinbase, and then Coinbase will sell them on the market basically immediately. And the last few weeks, it was around 10,000 Bitcoins a day of selling pressure, and that's why we tanked the last week.
Mhm. Quite remarkable that we're still up here in the 40,000s after so much sell pressure, because it's
To,
almost 50,000 Bitcoin that was
to be
sent.
honest, on Thursday, I really was afraid, and I thought we would have go to the 37K level.
Mhm. Well,
Okay,
we did.
so what I propose that we do is I start with a market overview and my predictions for the coming months.
Mhm.
Okay, so guys, let's start with Bitcoin, and my prediction over the coming months is basically this. So we start here, and I think because of all the gBTC pressure, we will go lower, lower, lower until we reach this 37K level. Maybe we go below it. Maybe we stay here. In worst case scenario, the 200-week moving average is here at around 30K. If it's really, really bad, we visit this level, but I don't think we will. I think we will stop at the 37K level. Let's go a bit back with my drawings. So we go down 37K. Also, what's really interesting to know is the bank term funding program will end on the March 11th. And basically, it's at the same time as potential rate cuts. I think for the time being, it's a 50-50 that the Fed will cut rates or not. If they don't cut rates, I think we will go a lot lower. We will visit the 200-week moving average. If they cut rates, I'm supposing it will be priced in and we will just stay here. Also really important, the reverse repo balance will be empty by then. So basically, let's start again. All the gBTC selling pressure will bring us lower, lower, lower into the reverse repo balance that's already low. Rate cuts that's also 20th of March, and the bank term funding program ending. Afterwards, we will go up and towards the halving that's normally at 19th of April. We will go up, 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 up. And I think we will consolidate here between the 48K level and the 41K level. Also, what's worth noting is the empty GOX deadline is, I think it was around 28th of October. You might check on that. We will go down into it, but I think we will not lose this level and we will go back up because it's the US elections. The stock market will be pumping, money will be printing, and then for me, it's up only afterwards. So a little dip here, and every dip for me is a buying opportunity. So if you can buy here 37K, 35K, 30K, always try to buy because the year is looking great. And I think we will see all-time highs in Q4 of this year. So Q4 of this year, after the elections, we will go up and we will try to break the new all-time highs. I don't know what you're thinking, 0xZer0cool, but these are my long-term predictions for the coming year.
All-time high this year might be a little tough, but I agree with the sentiment around March, April, where all the funding stops, and we'll have like a little correction, and then into the halving up only, and then the actual election month in November, I think it is, end of October, November, and after that, like you said, they're printing money, the stock market is pumping, it's gonna pump, it's gonna continue to pump, and it's gonna drag crypto up.
Yeah. So the only thing that's really scary right now are these gBTC unlocks. So here's a nice data from Bitmark's research where they had all the data of all the Bitcoin ETFs, the in and outflows. And you see here it's really easy to see. Basically, the day that we dropped, I think it was a drop of 5 to 10%. Then there were more outflows than inflows in the Bitcoin ETFs, and that's why we dropped immensely. So it was a difference of, I think, a little bit more than 100 Bitcoins, more outflows than inflows. And this will continue for the couple of weeks. So these next few weeks will be hard. The only thing is why it's calm is because it's weekend and the stock market isn't open right now. So watch out Monday when the stock market will be open again, the selling will continue.
Yeah, it's
Okay, then
remarkable at the moment.
maybe some levels. So like I said, here on the weekly, we lost the Ishimoku cloud, which is really, really bad. If we lose the cloud, it's potential that we will go lower. For myself, I got some buys here at 37K onto the 21-week EMA. I got one a little bit lower. This one is very nice as well. Got a big support here, long-term support, the black line, and also it's around the pivot point, the 2014 pivot point. So these are all my buy levels. So when the price dips, buy one, buy two, buy three. And if it's coming at the 200-week moving average, then I think I will go all in. It's around it's around 30K right now. Yeah, 30K. So for me, these are the weekly buy levels. If you go on the daily, I don't think it changes anything. Oh, here we got maybe on the weekly cloud you can buy. Also, this range, I drew it a couple of days ago. For this time being, it's holding. Yesterday, I was really, really afraid because we lost the range here, but the candle closed inside it, which is really important. Um, Although, to be frank, I told 0xZer0cool yesterday that I sold off most of my Bitcoin. So I think it was around this level I sold them. And the remainder of my Bitcoin, I will try to sell here at this 0.5 Fibonacci measured move from the bear market. It's colliding with the Kijun bounce, with the Kijun 11. So here I will sell all of my Bitcoin. Why? It's not because I don't think Bitcoin can still go up, but it's because I think Ethereum is in a much, much, much better position. So if the market decides it wants to move up, then I still got all my Ethereum left, and I will ride the markets on Ethereum. So these are my sells. My buys are just the same that I said before on the weekly level. One buy here, one buy here, one buy here, all in around here. Very easy. Now let's go over to you, 0xZer0cool. Maybe you have some more
Yeah,
insights on the
we'll
lower time
go a little bit
frames, or
deeper on the lower time frames.
yeah.
Yeah. So we had the range, and Bitcoin is still in the range. It's the high and the low. I think last time we recorded, we were over here. We talked about filling this wick, which we did. We had a nice bounce, but we were still kept by this level. This level is give or take, I believe, the yearly open. No, yearly open is a little bit lower. We're kept by the Monday high here. We sold off again to the bottom of the range, basically. If you see this as your bottom of your range, we went there. Had a good reaction of it, back inside of range, like you said. And it's still range bound. You got your high, you got your low. We deviated, we broke through, we tested it, we failed to hold it, and it just sold off to the low. What's next? Reclaim the middle, go high, lose the low, probably go like 37, like you said. So yeah, Bitcoin just still range bounds. A lot of fear and uncertainty in the markets with gBTC causing a lot of selling pressure. This is where I want alts to start shining. Can probably go on to Ethereum. There's one more interesting chart that I came across on Twitter. I dumped it over here. This is a week of reaccumulation range after a leg up. And while this peak here doesn't exist in the charts, it kind of looks like the creek here that we're forming. And once we impulse above the creek, I think we go 50 plus. And then we can go on to Ethereum, I think.
Yeah, that's also something I wanted to say, and it follows a bit of what you're saying. So if we follow the creek, like you say, it's basically what I was saying, that we will consolidate and go a bit lower. Let's say we will basically go lower to the 37K level, but that doesn't mean that alts won't go higher. Because most of the times when Bitcoin stays inside the range for a long time, then it's basically alts that are shining. Maybe before we go into Ethereum, the Bitcoin's dominant chart is really, really nice as well. And for me, if you look at the Bitcoin dominance charts, it's about to go down. It's about to go down, and it can go really, really low. Bitcoin dominance, from me, I think it can go 5% lower in the time that Bitcoin just stays in the range, which means that alts will probably outperform this quarter and even the next.
Yep.
Okay, let's go over to Ethereum. So, like I said, still mostly in Ethereum myself. If you look at weekly, still very, very nice into the Ishimoku cloud. We had a really nice ascending triangle. That's something people forget. Ethereum, we had for months this ascending triangle, and we are finally breaking out of it. And if you break out this ascending triangle, you can go even higher. You can go easily, what is it, 30% more. That's a Fibonacci target, the 2. So for me, obviously, I think we will finish this cloud to the other side, but that's only a 10% move, 15% move. So for Ethereum, what I'm thinking, when Bitcoin consolidates, we will move higher. It will not go straight up, but it will go be something like this. First sell target, our 1 pivot point. Second sell target, edge of the cloud. Third sell target, this Fibonacci golden ratio breakout level. Third sell target here around the R2 pivot points, and this target here. But these are short-term targets. I think Ethereum will do very, very well in 2014. These are just short-term sell targets to protect my portfolio a bit, because like I said, in March, we can expect a big drop if the Fed will not cut their interest rates. I think
It's
that's
been
it
a
for
while
me.
since we've seen a big
Yeah,
drop in crypto. It's
also,
been small drops, 20%, 25%, but an actual like flash crash that shakes out the market is like 40, 50%, right?
we're
And you need to have dry
basically,
powder to buy them.
yeah, we're basically up only for a whole year right now. So I think we will see a big drop. And I think it will be around March of this year when all this BTFP, our P balance, and the rate cuts will. It's all on the same time. I think bank term funding program ends on the 11th of March. Reverse repo will be emptied by then, and the rate cuts are around, I think it's the 20th. I got it here. Yeah, it's the 20th of March, so 50-50. That's a really, really important one. We also got one here. It's in 11 days, but the market is pricing in that the rates just will stay the same, so here no change. And then it's 50-50 on the in the next Fed meeting. Okay, Zero Cool, can you maybe cover Ethereum?
Yeah. So we had the same range as with Bitcoin. We put in the high, we put in the low, we deviated above, tested the low. But Ethereum is showing strength. It broke the high. And right now it's just retesting this high level. We didn't touch it yet. So we still have a little room to stay optimistic. We can still go a bit below it, but Ethereum it looks much better than Bitcoin at the moment. If we go even lower time frame, Ethereum had a big reaction on the Bitcoin ETF news because most people think Bitcoin got approved, Ethereum has to be next.
Wasn't that in May or something? The first BlackRock.
The deadlines, the first or last deadlines for the first decision is 23rd of May, 24th of May.
Yeah.
So is it a meme? Is it up only because of ETF narrative meme? Maybe, but the chart just looks good, to be honest. We might dip a little bit lower. Anything below this like 2200 level here, if we start closing 4-hour candles, 1-day candles below this, I would say the up only rally is over, but otherwise I'm still very bullish on this. To find the setup on this on a very low time frame, most likely something like this, where you have this this low here. We swept it, but it hasn't been retested yet, so we could easily retest it and then go for these highs. If we go a little bit higher time frame, I think once we start closing above this this level here, we go to the next point, which was around 2008.50, 880, which was the clouds top, I believe.
Yeah, exactly.
That should be the first target if we're still bullish. Now it's selling off a little bit against Bitcoin, but you can see we had a giant impulse on the ETF news, and since then it's just been flat. It's not retracing, which tells me there's appetite for Bitcoin. And if you're trading Ethereum, I wouldn't solely trade on the USDT pair. I would take ETC, BTC in regards towards sell targets. Again, here you have your high, you have your low. I think the mid range is around 69-ish. If you see Ethereum pumping with Ethereum BTC pumping and it reaches this level and starts stalling, that's probably a good place to start taking profits. And either that's going to be around 2,850 or it's going to be 3,000 plus.
And if you
I think
haven't
that's
still bought Ethereum yet, where do you consider buying more?
the problem is the fear of it, Bitcoin, right? If there wasn't fear with Bitcoin and it was just ranging in a normal range without the sell pressure from gBTC, I would assume that the alt would have flown already. Where would I buy more Ethereum? Honestly, this is not a bad level, right? We had the lows, we swept them once, we bounced hard, we nuked on the last sell-off, we instantly reclaimed it, and now we're testing the lows again. This is a perfect level to buy some more Ethereum, to be honest. You just literally put your stop below the last low, and you can target the first high, the second high, or the range high, or even 2,800, and that's a 15% up from here. So lower time frame, do be cautious with leverage. Like I said, we keep hammering on it. There's a lot of uncertainty and fear in the markets for good reason. Don't put your leverage slider too high, but this is honestly a really good point to scoop up some Ethereum, to be honest. Which makes me think I should buy some Ethereum or some more. I have pretty heavily invested from over here already.
Yeah. Me myself, let's go back to my screen. For me, I'm thinking my buy orders are here. So one on the Kijun, that's at around 2,300. I got a buy here, a buy on the clouds, on top of the clouds, and then one at 2K. And the lowest it can go is here, but I don't have a buy here. All my bullets are here. But it's also because I'm invested already a lot. I think for the moment I'm at 40% Ethereum, 10% Bitcoin, and 50% cash because I'm being cautious with all the gBTC selling. But for me, like Zero Cool said as well, I think if you're not invested already, this one is a really, really good level to buy. Also, if you look at the BTC chart, we got a nice ascending triangle here, and it's about to pop off, to be honestly. If we go back to the weekly, so we got this weekly range already 2 years. I drew a little forecasting here, as you can see. So this is what I'm thinking for Ethereum against Bitcoin, that we move up higher on this mini ascending triangle here, that we move up, 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 until March. Like I said here, March, maybe the market will take a big hit. we drop a little bit. We drop, what is it, 10%? And then basically we got the halving, and after the halving, it's up only. This one you can, it's okay. Maybe it drops a little bit if we touch the top here, but two scenarios. So tack, 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 drop, we go up, 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 or we bounce off and we go lower, or maybe we go up higher. Um, that that's depending if imagine if the ETF is approved, so it will be here around May. Then we just go up. If it's denied or delayed, if it's denied, then we go like this. If it's delayed, I think we will continue to range for the remainder of the year.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, 0xZer0cool?
I think there's alts that look better to buy at the moment than Ethereum and Bitcoin. Ethereum is lagging a bit or like being muted by Bitcoin. There's alts that have clearer levels, honestly, that look good to me.
What alts are these?
First one is surprisingly Litecoin. I'll go in very
normally that means that we're at the local top.
right. For I'll remove the weekly and the daily levels. So before we started to sell off, every little dip Bitcoin had, Litecoin was instantly pumping. It followed and instantly put in a higher high, which drew my attention. Then we had a big sell-off with the first dip. Immediately bought up to above where we were already. Then we had the last sell-off that went to the range low on Bitcoin. Immediately bought up, and then it started trending. Now it's pulling back a bit. If you zoom out a little bit, like the 4 hour, it was like a
Litecoin is really a coin from a fundamental perspective that I really don't understand why people would buy this.
It's quite literally just Bitcoin but faster. It's like second or third crypto they made after Bitcoin. It's
yeah, but no one uses it, and no one
Bitcoin
will ever use it.
Like that. No, it's Bitcoin but faster. There's indeed like it's pure price action, not really technical perspective to it. But if the chart says up, we're here to make money, right? So we just
want to be
just
right,
follow the
want
money.
To make money.
Right. Correct. Both would be nice. So yeah, Litecoin. I think if this dips deeper into like 69, 67, and it shows a big reaction from this downtrend, you can buy again, and it will sweep 73, then 77, and then 80 as a physical level. So yeah, Litecoin is one where I'm in at the moment because it showed strength before the big dip, and then it showed strength during both dips, which was interesting. Another one is Binance Coin, BNB. Basically, same story, honestly. Every dip during the BTC corrections got bought up, and it's now at this resistance here. You put it on the daily.
Honestly, that makes me think always when we have a good bull run, the exchange coins perform really, really well because there's a lot of retail coming in.
Yeah, there's just more volume. There's more attention to it. There's more marketing. So the underlying coin of the ecosystem just goes up. It's not that hard to understand why, right? Just a little more volume from people, more people trading.
I think I remember when I first saw BNB coming up, I think it was around 50 cents, but I didn't buy it. So
yeah, very early days we're in the 300s now, which is way off all-time high, which was in the 600s. But early days, like 10 cents, 50 cents, $1, I think. And it hovered around like $8 to $10 for a bit compared to prices now. It was very cheap back then. But the same narrative of Binance, if there's more retail customers, price will go up. I think the same principle to normal stocks with the Coinbase stock, with the coin ticker. It's reaching a zone where I'm interested in buying it for long-term hold. And then long-term is like 3, 4, 5 years. I think coin can easily do times 3, times 4, which for a normal stock, not a crypto, is insane numbers. For a setup on Binance coin, I would honestly wait until it breaks out with good volume. So I want to see a big candle above it with like super high volume, and then I would be interested in buying it. There's a little downtrend that it already broke, I believe, which could have been a trigger. No, it actually got denied. Denied. So wait for the break, honestly. Equal highs and a downtrend. High volume break would be a buy trigger for me. Then there's 2 more coins. OP and ARP with the exact same setup. They're a bit higher time frame. Quite literal higher time frame support being flipped, or resistance being flipped in support. Where's my box here? There it is. Very loose drawing. I'll put on the magnet and it looks a little bit more pretty. This was your resistance. It's being tested as support now. This can easily eat another 100% from here, double. OP has the exact same structure.
I think it's also because there should be, I don't know which exact date it is, but somewhere around Q1 this year, so in a couple of days, weeks, or months, an Ethereum upgrade. It's a Denken upgrade. And this will improve the scalability for layer 2 solutions and improve gas fees as well.
Yeah,
So this
the
could
gas
be a really
fees are being
nice setup, a fundamental and technical setup on both Arbitrum and Optimism.
Yeah, they're both layer 2 on Ethereum. Yeah, it's the exact same, right?
Yeah.
You had your resistance. It's being tested at support. I wouldn't go super high leverage on this. This would be spot buys. You can just buy on your way down. And
This is maybe
unless
one I'm excited to buy in the next few days. So what do you
this is
think?
a pretty
Just
large
make some
box, by
buys
the way.
lower, lower, and lower, or do we have a good buy level?
Well, this is a 40% range. This is a bit too high, right? We need to zoom in a little bit. Yeah, I think we can move it like this. They always say buy dips and not rips. We're still dipping. I would maybe wait until it clears these lows before buying, and this would
The
come in
scary
line with
thing is just like
Bitcoining
we said
into.
in the beginning with all these gBTC sellings, if it's really, really a big liquidation candle on Bitcoin, then alt will drop 20%.
A wick into here would probably collide with Bitcoin wicking into 37, 38, which is our first zone of interest on Bitcoin.
So you think buying on the bottom of the range could be a good spot buy?
Yeah. Either wait for it to bounce and reclaim these lows before buying, or have your order scaled. What I normally do, especially with spot buys, is I put a pretty big.
It's basically value averaging,
scale
no?
orders.
That's it called.
Yeah. I have another color for this template. Yeah, my yellow box. So I just put my orders in a spread over here, and the goal is not to get fully filled, but partially filled. And then once it's established above the box like this, just buy the rest here, and then it should go. This averages your buy in lower than if you just purely buy on one spot. Plus, if the ID is wrong and it just turbo nukes, you're only filled for 30, 40, 50%, and you can always cut.
Honestly, this might be one of the best buys in a couple of weeks because I see nobody talk about it on Twitter or YouTube or nowhere about the Ethereum upgrade.
Yep. This is probably indeed the narrative also for the next, before the ETF narrative. The next narrative on the Ethereum run is the upgrade for layer 2. One of the bigger problems with Ethereum is the gas prices. Layer 2s are answers to that if they become cheaper. towards Solana levels cheap.
That's why
And Solana
everyone at
does
the
like
moment is going to Solana.
it. Yeah.
Maybe if you
And
cover Solana real quick.
I didn't add it because it looks really, really bad, honestly. It lost so many levels. It lost the yearly open. It lost the Monday range. It lost the weekly open. This just looks honestly really, really bad and probably goes into 70s, 80s.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. I'll show my screen real quick. So the thing is for Solana, I'm a big believer that Solana will perform really good, really well in the bull run that's coming up. Why? It's because not because it's the best layer one chain out there. I'm still thinking Ethereum is way better in terms of security, decentralization, and everything. But Solana got a really big community behind them. And in crypto, a community, so basically your network is really important. It's one of the most important things. So that's why I wanted to buy Solana, but not here. It's just made a really big move upwards, almost finished towards the end of the cloud. I want to buy a little bit lower. So where can I buy and where did I put my buy offer? Is right here on the Kijun. So I'm hoping for a bounce on the Kijun, and I think when we bounce, maybe it will not be right now. Maybe it will be in April, May, or a bit further away. But it will bounce, and then we will shoot back up into the bull run, and this will make new all-time highs for sure.
Yeah, you should have a little spot Solana bag. I would accumulate under $80 all the way down to like 50 or something. Again, that is a very big range. You do not put your entire order at 80 and then hope it doesn't go lower, right? You stack it a little bit, spread it out over like 35%. And if you get the Omega candle on Bitcoin, it drops 40% and alts do more, then you'll be fully filled up to 50.
Yeah, and you guys have to know when we say you need to buy altcoins here, 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 and here, it's like a fraction of our whole portfolio. For me, for example, my portfolio is mostly in cash on the sidelines, waiting for to buy dips, or in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Altcoins is really maybe 1%, 2 or 3%, because it's the most risky place out there.
Yeah. And if you then, that's spot, if you go leverage times 10 times 50, use very small fractions of your already small fraction of your portfolio. Because the worst feeling out there is getting liquidated on a trade and then seeing to reach your target and go much, much, much further. So if you lose like 0.1% of your portfolio, okay, that sucks, but you can still repeat that 1,000 more times before you destroy your portfolio. If you have it wrong 1,000 times in a row, you probably shouldn't touch trading. Just buy spot and forget about it.
It's probably best for most people.
Yes. It takes years of losing money before you become profitable, and I can speak from my own experience.
All right. I think we can wrap it up here. It was a really nice episode.
Yep. Covered a lot of alts. So yeah, you either wait for Bitcoin to clear the lows and have a good reaction from the lows. If you can switch to my screen quickly. The only thing I didn't do was like a Bitcoin setup. I want to see a big reaction from dropping into below 40K. So if we go to 38K, where our first level of interest is, I want to see an instant reaction above 40K. The last thing I want to see is, I'll draw it in red. What I don't want to see is we start consolidating below 40K, because then 32.30 is next. And this leg, if we get it, will be very brutal for alts. This might be like 20%, 15%. This will be at least 30, 40, 50% for alts if Bitcoin does this leg.
A liquidation week is always better than to slow bleed.
Yep. Oh, that's something I can actually show really quickly. What marked the Pico bottom yesterday on Bitcoin, which I found very interesting. Over here, I still have it open. It was around 40,300. You had a 700 or 699.14 Bitcoin sell-off on the Binance futures, right into big support. I can guarantee you some of this was a liquidation into a support level, and then we had an instant reaction of it. I can draw with this, I think. So it went into it, immediate reaction, and then it just up for like over $1,000. This is what you want to see. You don't want to see it consolidating here and then dropping off lower. You want an instant reaction from a level. And that's about it for me.
Great, thanks. As always, thanks for coming on to the show.
No problem.
So where can people follow you?
Just on Twitter for now, on 0xZer0cool.
Yeah, if you can see under the camera of 0xZer0cool is his Twitter handle, so you just do at 0xZer0cool and you can find him on Twitter. So for example, what he just explained, he already posted it yesterday on his Twitter. So if you want the latest insights of 0xZer0cool, he posts it most likely on Twitter.
Yeah, I use it kind of as a trading journal. The reason why I journal this so much is because I want an exact playbook of what I'm going to do on Ethereum when the Ethereum ETF date in May comes around. There's a very good chance it will play out the same step by step for Ethereum like it did on Bitcoin. And I just want to scroll back and see exactly what happens and how the market reacted to it. So I can do the exact same for Ethereum.
All right, guys. Thank you so much and see you all next week.